Good afternoon, everyone. This is Chris around the ATL on Sunday afternoon, around the ATL side notes. And today we're going to retry to do the game review that I promised earlier in the week that I actually did do, but the website did not allow it to post. So I have to redo it again. And I'm also going to go ahead and include the second half of a 2 hour show, which is going to be Atlanta Hawks legacy. So if you're an Atlanta Hawks fan, this is definitely your show. As we get started, let me make sure I have turned off all of my notifiers here. I did the last post there. So if you're watching this live and you know other Atlanta Hawks fans, you know that they're Atlanta Hawks fans, make sure you share on YouTube, IMTM Worldwide Radio on YouTube. You also, if you're watching this off of Facebook, IMTM Worldwide Radio on Facebook. If you like and follow that page, you'll always will see notifications about a new show. You can also follow on Instagram, IMTM Worldwide Radio as well, although I didn't post on there just yet. I didn't know I was going to do this today. Of course, if you are a regular follower of Around the ATL, you know we air every Thursday night at 7 p.m. on Sports Vision's 92.1 FM. So I'll post that real quick so you can see what it looks like if I can get to it. Give me a second here. And there it is. So if you're on the TuneIn app, you can listen anywhere in the world. So you don't have to be in one particular city to listen to, because this is a FM station here, Sports Vision's 92.1 FM. But if you're not local, TuneIn app, you can hear it all day. But also, if you missed Thursday night at 7 o'clock, you can go to TuneIn app after it, or Spotify, or iHeartRadio, or Odyssey, Alexa, Audible, all kind of different platforms. You can just tune into Around the ATL and listen to the show. Also, some of our sponsors, I'll go ahead and mention them. And one of them is based in Atlanta, Georgia. So if you're in Atlanta and you need to get somewhere comfortably and safely in style, you need to go to southernclassictransportation.com. Visit that website or call 404-291-0150. Ask for Dennis. Let them know Around the ATL sent you. They will take you to your destination, wait for you, bring you back home. So if you have a business meeting, you have a dinner, you have to go out of state and you don't want to fly, these are the people to call. All right. Make sure you let them know Around the ATL sent you, as well as imtmworldwideimages.com. If you need a photo shoot, you need a photo shoot right now. Don't procrastinate. Book your photo shoot now. Call 706-393-8426 and let them know Around the ATL sent you. Also, make sure you visit imtmworldwideradio.com, where you can also find articles that have been written by myself and also my co-host Jordan Jackson. I think there's some articles he's written on. I'm not sure if we uploaded any of those yet, but we will. But there's a lot of articles. All the shows are on there, the radio shows, because we haven't always done live streams. So if you want to hear the radio interview of Dominique Wilkins or Jerome Jarinovich, Marvin Freeman, all the different types of interviews we've done in sports in Atlanta over time. Go to imtmworldwideradio.com, as well as other shows that we do on IMTM Worldwide Radio. Oh, speaking of last but not least, Jamal Price of Price Design Club, artist Ram One, producer Cal Cutter out of Atlanta, and out of Columbus, Georgia, Yolanda Elder Strong, some of our contributors. Shout out to all of them. They've helped keep things going with Around the ATL. So thank you for all of their help. Also, Matthew Manuele, who actually designed the show flyer for Around the ATL as well. So shout out to him. If you would like to become a sponsor or a contributor of the show, just hit me up here on wherever platform you're watching this at right now. Or you can always go to Instagram, IMTM Worldwide Radio. Don't ask me one. Let's see if I can. There it is. IMTM Worldwide Radio on Facebook and or Instagram. Now, all that being said, we're going to talk some Hawks basketball. So I haven't been doing a lot of game reviews, mostly because of time. Okay. The last one I did, however, though, was Orlando right after the All-Star break. So this one today is going to be Detroit Pistons, game 2 after the All-Star break. Okay. So just to keep you going there. Let's see, how can I set this up for everybody? So, Detroit Pistons. So, Detroit is better than they were last year as well, right? And at the time of this particular game, they had a winning streak going. And this was a game in Atlanta. It was a game we really needed to win, too. Okay, just for all the regular reasons you want to win a game, but we really needed to win this game because of that game earlier in the season that we lost by 1 point. And I'll get into that a little bit later in the show. All right. So that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. They were on a 5-game win streak. All right. They won that game 148 to 143. So first of all, the Hawks gave up 143 points and the Pistons gave up 143 points. Think about that for a second. We lost this game by 5 points. The top 3 players for Detroit, Cade had 38 points, 12 dimes. He was 14 of 24 from the field. 24 shots he took, 58% from the floor. He hit 7 threes, so you would think that's a player you should put 5 people on, huh? Malik Beasley had 24 points off the bench. Who was guarding Malik? Who is his responsibility on defense? Anybody can tell me that before we get into it? He was 7 to 12 from the floor, 58%. He hit 6 threes in this game, 6 for 10 from 3. THJ had 18 points. He had 6 threes in this game. Who was guarding him? So you got 3 players basically killing you. But for some people, that's one person's fault. That's interesting. We lost this game by 5 points. For the Atlanta Hawks, our rookie, Zach, had 19 points. He hit 4 threes in this game. Mo G had 2 points. Okongwu had 16 and 9. He missed 2 free throws in this game, though. Dyson had 24 points, 4 steals, but he also missed a free throw. Trey had 38 points, 13 assists, but he also missed 3 free throws himself. Yang had 27 points. LeVert was 3 of 10 from the floor for 7 points. Mann had 2 points, and he missed 2 free throws. You see the theme there? Missing free throws, the whole team. Clint had 8 points. He was 3 of 3 from the field, but he was 2 of 4 from the free throw line. We lost this game by 5. Okay? So, yeah, there's that part of the game, right? Hawks also, though, besides the free throws, here's one of the real reasons we lost this game outright. We gave up 24 fast break points in this game. Scratch that out, though. We gave up 64 points in the paint. Scratch that out, though. We gave up 23s in this game at 50%. So pick one of those 3 things. 3 other reasons we lost this game by 5, though. 5. Just 5. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, right? So question number 1. Let me scratch that. Question number 1. Did one player give up 24 fast break points? Did you watch the game? Now, here's a good question for everybody. Did you actually watch the game? Because there's a lot of people out there who did not watch the game. They don't watch any games at all during the season. They just see the score, and that's it. That's not enough. I promise you it's not. Okay? Did one player give up 64 points in the paint? Did one player give up 23 pointers in this game? Because we lost this game by 5 points. It's a valid question, isn't it? The Hawks had 50 points in the paint in retrospect. They had 14 second chance points, and they had 21 fast break points. So you could say to an extent they kind of even it out a little bit, but not really, because again, 64 points in the paint to 50 points in the paint, right? 14 second chance points, not bad. That helps. 21 fast break points, that kind of offsets 24 fast break points, kind of, sort of, right? But again, what have I always said? Points in the paint, fast break points, second chance points, and three-pointers are usually the four reasons that the Hawks lose. You can't have two of those four, trying to do this, or 3 or 4 of those happen against you and think you're going to have a good chance to win the game. And here we are, 24 fast break points, 64 points in the paint, and 23 pointers. We lost this game only by 5. Messed up. One of the reasons that the Hawks also lose a lot of games and lose games in general, missed shot opportunities. So one of the things I started to do at the beginning of this season, when I started to do game reviews again, I added a category: missed shots from passes generated from Trae Young. Because again, how are you blaming the player giving you the ball for you missing the shot that he gave you? That's absurd. By any measure of basketball out there, that's absurd. It's crazy. But hey, if you've never played basketball before, you wouldn't know that, right? So Hawks miss a lot of shots. Now, when I do this category, I don't include all the missed shots because we miss a lot of shots. But I only am counting the ones that are passes from Trae. First quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. Because remember, we lost this game by 5 points. I'm going to keep saying that throughout this particular episode of this first half of this show, that we lost this game only by 5 points. Okay? So that being said, since 2018, did you know Trae Young has been no less than 6th in the NBA, 6th in potential assists per game? No less than 6. Did you know that? What are potential assists, you may ask? That is, I'm the passer, I pass you the ball, you got a wide open dunk, layup, 2-point shot, 3-point shot, and you miss it instead of hitting it. So it was a potential assist per you hitting the shot. But if you miss it, it's not an assist, obviously, right? But it was a potential assist because you had a field goal attempt that you tried to hit, right? Trae Young, since 2018, has been no less than 6th in the NBA in that stat. That is not good, folks. Why? Because instead of his rookie season, him averaging 9+ assists a game, he could have been averaging 12 assists a game his rookie season. That's why that matters. We didn't have enough people hitting shots. Year after year after year, though, the last 2 seasons, he's led the league. Last 2 seasons, he's led the league in that stat. 21 a game this season alone. 21 potential assists a game. 21. He's averaging 12. How many shots is that, guys? Do the math in your head. So, that all being said, is that Trae's fault? People missing shots? He's giving them shots? Is he not supposed to pass the ball to anybody? He passes the ball 60+ times a game. I think 61, 64 times a game. He's passing the ball in one shape or fashion. He's leading the NBA. I'll get into that a little bit, but he leads the NBA in assists per game and total assists, right? So should he stop passing the ball because of that? Do you notice that he keeps passing the ball despite the missed shots? Anybody ever noticed that before? Right? Maybe you don't know this. Maybe you don't care. I don't know. Right? If you missed the Orlando Magic review, which was the first game after the All-Star break that I did, the Hawks left 34 points on the board in that one game alone from passes from Trae Young. 34 points in a game we lost by 6. 34, I'm telling you guys. 10 of those were in the fourth quarter alone. So we lose a game by 6 points. We leave 10 points in the fourth quarter. So we should have won by 4, but we lost by 6. Trae also scored 15 points in that fourth quarter. That's his fault too. Maybe he shouldn't have scored 15 points. Maybe we just get blown out again, huh? He had 38 points and 6 assists in that game. He had 6. I just told you we left 34 points on the board. But anyway, he was blamed for that game as well as usual. So let's get into this game against the Detroit Pistons. So let's go over those missed shots real quick. So I won't do all of them. Now, when I started adding this category, I said I can't add all the shots, the missed shots in this particular category, but I did add a couple. So let's go first quarter first. Let me see if I can find them all. They might not be in order, so give me a second because I have to actually look for them now because I just uploaded these a second ago. Because the first time I did the video, they weren't there. For some reason, they never uploaded, and I didn't notice until I got on the air. That's my fault. This time, I checked it. I got them now. So in the first quarter, there were 4 shots that were missed. Okay, 10 points left on the board. Zach with a missed layup. Zach with a wide open 3 that he missed. Niang with a wide open 3 that he missed. And then LeVert with a contested layup. But hey, guess what? You're in the NBA. You got to hit those contested shots, right? But anyway, so let's watch Zach and his wide open 3 that he missed. Let's look at that first.
Well, right now, great with the nutmeg.
Yes, he got him. Wide open shot for Rishad Shea.
So Trae doing Trae things, a little nutmeg, Magic Johnson stuff, right? Passes it to Rishad Shea, and he misses that 3. Now, remember, he lost his game by 5. He just missed a wide open 3, right? There was another shot that was a 3-pointer that was missed. This time it was Niang. Let's watch that one.
He's already with his 3rd team this year. Niang, no.
Niang, no. That's 6 points right there. Hit those 2 threes, we win the game by 1, right? Wide open, right? In the second quarter, LeVert misses a wide open 3. Niang misses a wide open 3. Mo G misses a wide open 3. Niang misses a wide open 3. His second of the second quarter, Niang misses a layup. 14 points in the second quarter alone we left on the board. We lost this game by 5 points. We left 14 points in the second quarter. So let's look at another shot by Niang in the second quarter here real quick.
Trae down the lane, spins it out to Niang for 3.
Y'all cool with this? Y'all cool with actually blaming the point guard for getting you the ball, and then the player who got the ball misses the shot? You really sure it's cool to blame the point guard for that? Whoever the point guard was. But in this case, it happens to be the one leading the NBA in assists despite all the misses. Just consider that a little bit again, because what have I been saying all these years now? What if Trae had Joel Embiid or Joker or someone who could hit a jump shot and always finish 71% in the paint? Where would he be in league history? He's already broken all the records in league history already, but where would he even be higher if he had someone like that? Think about that. Fourth quarter, I'm going to jump. Did I say I was going to jump? No, third quarter. In the third quarter, remember now, we gave up. We left 10 points in the first quarter, 14 points in the second quarter. So at halftime, the Atlanta Hawks had left 24 points on the board from passes from Trae Young. 24 points. We lost by 5. So the third quarter, you had a layup by LeVert that was missed. Niang with another wide open 3. 5 points. Let's watch that wide open 3 from Niang.
Dotted line, got it.
Nice shot there. Nice shot. Got in his position in his comfort zone. Nice. There's Niang, another 3.
Did you see Tobias Harris? He didn't even try to contest that shot. Niang just missed it. That's Trae's fault too, right? That was a wide open 3. Last quarter, only had one more pass from Trae to someone. This was Richard Shea. I believe I have this one. I think I do. Yep, there it is.
Ooh, rebound Capella. Trae gets it ahead. Here's Risa Shea going in on Dennis. Capella crashing in the loose ball foul.
And that was on Dennis. That was Dennis. That was a layup. It was right there. Gave you the ball. You're running to the basket. Gotta earn. But anyway, that was 2 points in the fourth quarter. So in 4 quarters, the Atlanta Hawks left 32 points on the board from passes generated from Trae Young. That's 12 passes. He had 13 assists in this game. He had 13 assists in this game. And he could have had 12 more. Now, he did have 7 turnovers in this game. Remember, when I do a game review, I talk about everybody. Pistons scored 9 points off of those turnovers. So we can say, well, we lost by 5. He had 7 turnovers. They had 9 points. That's the reason we lost. I guess you could say that. You could. However, second question, are the 32 points that we left on the board less than the 9 points given up by Trae's turnovers? Or more than that? Less or more than 9? 32-9, 32-9, 32 points, 9 points, right? But another question, are the 65 points generated by Trae Young more or less than the 9 points he gave up on his turnovers? Well, I've always said, if you can't score, you got to stop. If you can't stop, you got to score. But you can't do neither, right? You got to be able to equal out production one way or the other. So if you can't stop your man, you sure well better score to compensate for that, right? And if you can't score, you better stop somebody. Trae Young more than compensated for his. He generated 65 points in this game alone. 65, right? Let's get into the game now. So, score was, let's see, where are we at here? Oh yeah, I almost forgot about that part, but I'll get to that later on in the game. I think I'll remember. I hope I'll remember. Really, I'm not even going to. I promise I would talk about this, so I'll talk about this, but I'm not going to show it. We lost this game by 5 points because people missed shots. The whole game has gone by where Trae Young had, let's see, where are we at here? Oh, did I not? Trae had 38 points and 13 assists. He didn't have 10 points and 2 assists. He didn't have 13 points and 5 assists. He had 38 and 13. But still, people try to blame this game on him because of an air ball, mind you. Taking a shot. Yeah, we can say it's an inopportune shot, but doggone it. Look at all the shots that we missed before that shot. Before his 38th point, before his 13th assist. Let's get into the game officially now. So, first quarter, okay? First quarter. Oh, by the way, he had 15 points and 5 assists in the fourth quarter of this game, too. Forgot about that, too. First quarter, first shot. Pistons running a double screen. Technically, everyone does what they're supposed to do on this possession. Once Trey gets picked by Duren, O picks up. Duren flashes the bucket. Pass goes to Duren. ZR comes to help. Thompson, though, ends up getting a dunk. Only way to stop this would either have been Mo G to be a little bit quicker to come help on Duren, or O making a block on Thompson. So I'm going to give these 2 points to the team because they almost had it, but still failed to do what was necessary to stop this particular bucket. Watch this.
Getting to know the guys and Cordy Cupid, who was just adorable going in last night. It was so much fun. There's Asar Thompson.
So when I give up points, I sometimes assign points to the whole team because of stuff like that. That was the whole team failing right there, okay? Because they almost had it. They almost did it all the way through. But see, again, it's the whole possession. You can't just stop at a certain point and just assume something. You got to finish it out, right? Shot number 2. Trey has TSJ, Dyson has K, ZR has Thompson, Mo G has Tobias, and Okongwu has Isaac. So Thompson hands to Cade. Isaac screens Dyson. Okongwu switches, but Dyson goes to Isaac. Okay? Thompson goes to the corner 3. TSJ moves up. Trey goes with him. Cade drives, but then he stops. For some reason, Zach leaves his man. And since there is no communication, you got limbo now. So Trey tries to cover for that, but Thompson ends up giving a dunk because Zach left his man, and there was really no reason to leave his man. At the end of the day, you got to stay with your man, folks. Shot number 2.
Pistons have done a great job on the road. They are 16-13 away from Detroit. They've won 3 straight on the road, including in San Antonio and Austin, actually, on Friday night.
See what I'm saying? If you're going to switch, you got to say switch so that the other player knows that you're really going to commit to someone else who ain't your man. Because otherwise, it's like, well, why did you leave? Because you saw what happened there. Now ZR is trying to get back, but it's too late. You're leaving people open. It's not because anybody got attacked. It's just you just left people open. Shot number 3. On a block shot, Pistons are running. Remember, we gave up 24 fast break points in this game. We lost by 5. You know, Shannon Sharp, right? Lost by 5. Anyway, Pistons are running. Thompson releases and beats everybody. It's not enough to just get back. What have I said? You got to stop the ball, and you got to get back with a purpose. You got to see who has who. If your man beats you, you got to say, pick up man. I got yours. No one says nothing on this team. No, we don't communicate as a team. If we just did that, so many mishaps would be avoided, but we don't because it's not being coached by the bench. Tobias is going up. Okay, let me start from the beginning. Mo G had a chance to stop Harris. Zach had a chance. As Tobias is going up, Trey hesitates, but he had Thompson behind him. Dyson was back, was not able to steal the pass. He tried for it. Then Thompson dunks it. But I'm going to give these to Trey because Thompson was behind him and he let him go. So I'm going to give these 2 points to Trey. But I'm going to let y'all watch shot number 3 in the first quarter. Here we go.
Shots that Cunningham has shot so far in this game.
Onyeka swatted out of there by Stewart. Harris finds Thompson at the other end, and he takes it home.
And the other part of that goes to coaching is the unknown way that they were doing that. Like you're supposed to know, and we don't. That's coaching. You can't just say, oh, well, they're professionals. They've been playing for 20 years. No. Do you want to win or not? Do you want to win all the time or some of the time? Because if you want to win all the time, you're coached on everything all the time. Like the Cavaliers have the 7th ranked defense. There's a reason for that. Because they're always going to do the same stuff every game on defense. And they know what to do. We don't. We can't even play zone defense still. I've shown y'all that in videos. Shot number 4. Again, nobody's attached to players. No communication on who to get. Cade is by himself. Okongwu sees it but doesn't come up, and he lets him shoot the 3. Fourth shot. first quarter.
Being the inducted into the Georgia Sports Hall of Fame. And Nate, talk about your experience going in, because you obviously are in the Hall of Fame. You're in every Hall of Fame there is.
By the way, shout out to NBA.com. I've been using the site clips because, they show all the shots from the game, and I see everybody else in the world uses them. I use them as well. Shout out to NBA.com for the great footage of the games. So you saw how that happened. So here's shot number 5, though. Watch this. Very interesting.
He done knock it down, but the crowd was wowed by what Trey was able to do with the nutmeg right there. Cade Cunningham so big to get in the lane and the jump hook.
He used that big body.
Remember, Cade had 38 points in this game.
Daniels to the cutting Ricochet. Dotted line, left-hander, no. This is what hurt the Hawks so much in the game here Thursday night. These opportunities close to the rim. Beasley takes it home.
Now, in that case, Beasley just got a layup. So it is what it is. Oh, you know what? I missed a shot. Here it is.
Yet leading 14-11. Hawks just 1 of 5 on threes. Cunningham, deep three, good.
Well, we talked about how his three-point shooting has improved.
Dyson tried to go under, and Zach didn't come to help. He didn't come up. So that's on Zach. Those 3 are on Zach. You just saw the Beasley layup on Levert. So I'm not going to re-show that one. That was easy. 8th shot. So pointing is not defense. That's not defense. Pointing and saying what you need or saying where to go, that's defense. Okay? So here's another fast break. Remember, again, Pistons had 24 fast break points. We lost by 5. Nobody picks up Cade. Levert points to his left, but like I said, he didn't say, I got Cade and you get THJ. Instead, as Cade comes up, 2 people are on Cade, and Cade passes to THJ, which what does he do? He hits one of his many threes in this game. Watch this possession.
As Dyson Daniels goes in, too strong off the glass, tipped out to Cunningham. Stop and pop for Hardaway. That's the shot you were talking about.
That's 3 points right there that didn't need to go in. 3 of the 5 points that we lost by. That was preventable. 9th shot. So far, Zach has given up 8 points, Okongwu 3, Trey 2, Dyson 2, Levert 2, and I have the team with 2. So has anybody played basketball? I keep asking that, right? Why don't people switch? On pick and roll, Cade gets a pick from Stewart. Dyson can't get around it, and instead of going to Stewart, he goes to Cade. Instead of Dyson going to Stewart, Stewart is now going to the basket, and at this moment, 4 players are looking at Cade. 4. Dyson, Okongwu, Niang, and Zach. All paying attention. Not staying with their man, not using peripheral. I've always said, I don't care what's happening behind me. I need to stay and make sure that my guy don't score. Because if my guy is out of the picture, they got to play 4-on-4 now, right? We got 4 people paying attention to one individual. Niang could have went to Stewart. Zach could have helped on Cade, force a pass, rotate, right? But none of that happened, and Stewart ends up getting the dunk. I'm going to give this 2 points to the team again. Watch this.
Cunningham has scored 11 of the Pistons' 22. Back to work. Shovels to Stewart for the jam. Isaiah Stewart.
That's embarrassing, but what's worse is it's just shrugged off. Ain't nobody on the coaching staff doing nothing about it because it happens every game, multiple times, and no one does anything about it. We don't have a defensive coach that cares on our bench for some reason. It's not enough to have those moments where we do play good defense. It's the moments that we don't that loses us the games, folks. Shot number 10. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm going to just show it.
Confidence with which Detroit plays, Nick, these days compared to last year, night and day.
That's what happens when you get a taste of winning.
Nice lay-in by Harris.
Did you see that point trying to bail himself out of defense there? Let's watch this one too.
27-26. There is Dennis, the former Hawk, working against Niang. Dennis lets it fly and connects on a 3.
Let's watch this one.
Zimone trips in the lane. Back out to Stewart. And he will score.
Well, you never see him look to score like that. But
Clint didn't even contest that shot. He just stood there. Anyway, shot number 13 of the first quarter. Nobody picks up man on the fast break. Nobody picks up Fontecchio, so nobody talks. Clint is looking at the ball handler again. Trey also is looking at Dennis. Dennis passes to Tobias. Clint comes up. Tobias passes to Fontecchio for a layup. Man was there and just left him as well. Watch this. Watch closely now.
Pistons take it away. Schroeder in transition. No look bounce to Harris. Shovels to Fontecchio, and he lays it in.
We lost this game by 5 points. We had 64 points in the paint, y'all. Second quarter, first shot, another fast break.
Trey down the lane, spins it out to Niang for three. George trying to find that consistent three-point shot tonight. Nice bounce to Cunningham for the jam.
No one said a word, so Cade was by himself that whole time. He got dunked. I give those 2 points to the team again because nobody taught. Nobody stopped the ball. Nobody did anything. And it don't matter. That's what makes me upset about this. It don't even matter. Because if it mattered, there'd be an adjustment, wouldn't there? Second shot. Let's say it again. No one calls out nothing. Nobody picks up man. Man leaves Beasley on this one. On the fast break, Cade throws it to Beasley. Guess what? He gets a three and then gets fouled on top of that. Insult to injury, right?
Cade to the corner. Beasley hits the basket, a three-pointer, and man,
that's not what you
fouled him.
Wouldn't have happened if he had been on him. Anyway. Third shot. This is on Trey.
And Cunningham draws Ricochet defensively. Hawks by one. Dennis with the floater. And he banks it home.
Banker there. Bank is open.
Now remember, Trey had 38 and 13 in this game too, right? If he had 10 points, then we'd have a problem, wouldn't we? But he didn't have 10 points. If he had 3 assists the whole game, he'd have a problem, right? As a starting point guard. But he didn't. He had 13 points. 15 and 5 in the fourth quarter. We lost this game by 5 points. We left 32 points on the board from missed shots generated from Trey Young, who leads the league in points generated from assists, clutch points, clutch assists. Well, he might not be in the league lead now in clutch points as of today's video, but he's been the league leader for a while now. Clutch points, clutch assists, points generated from assists, points generated from points plus assists. League leader for months, for weeks, however many games. It's crazy. But he's blamed for everything, though. One player blamed for everything. I'll get into that a little bit later. Which shot was that? Was that fifth shot? Sixth shot? I'm in the second quarter, right? Yeah, here we go. So here we go. Fourth shot.
Ron Holland.
He had a wide open shot and didn't take it.
And Duren with authority. Jalen Duren.
You know why that happened? Okongwu is never on his man. Your job as the big is to make sure that your big is never left alone.
Hundreds of screens for his teammates, and something that not a lot of people talk about.
You know what? And it's a very important part of the game because you got somebody who can get down there and get a shooter open or coming off a down screen.
Okay, here's a hook on Dyson. 6 shots, second quarter.
Meeting some new friends on the first row. Cunningham rises up on Daniel. Man, is he on it tonight.
Now, that's 2 straight shots just on Dyson. That's 5 points. How many did we lose the game by? 5 points. But, we can, no, Trey lost his game. Not Dyson. Dyson couldn't have lost this game. Cade had 38 points. Trey wasn't guarding Cade. Dyson was. right? So we're just talking basketball. Well, what are we talking about, right? Now, at the same time, remember, though, how much did Dyson have in this game? Let's go back up. Dyson had 24 points and 4 steals in the missed free throw. So remember what I said? If you can't stop somebody, you need to equal out some of that production with some points. Dyson had 24 points, right? Just saying. All right, let's get back to the second quarter here. Second quarter, what shot was that? Was that 2 on Dyson? 7th shot. Here's another fast break. Watch this fast break.
49-48 Detroit. Here comes Dyson Daniels. He coughed it up, lost control, shovel it ahead. Holland takes it home with a one-hander.
Niang just stopped running, by the way. 8th shot. Cade hits another one on Dyson.
After playing with the Pacers and the Cavaliers, he's used to these Central Division knockdown dragouts with Detroit. Cunningham again. Man.
Now let me say this. Dyson is giving up some shots indeed, right? Why ain't we double teaming Cade? Let somebody else hurt you. Remember what I've always said? Don't let the best player on the other team beat you. The Hawks do it all the time. We don't care. We will not double team you. We might double team you once, maybe twice in a game. And that's usually after you've already hit the 30-point plateau. We don't know how to stop a hot streak before it starts. We won't do it. We'll just keep letting you hit shots after shots. And again, Dyson is going to be defensive player of the year, but sometimes somebody has a night on you. Nevertheless, right? Again, Cade is not hitting these shots on Trae Young. He's not even hitting them on Niang. He's hitting them on Dyson Daniels. We lost this game by 5. Nice shot. We don't know how to switch. I've said that before, right? Cade has the ball. Beasley comes over. Dyson goes under to stay with man, but LeVert doesn't go with Beasley. Cade passes it to Beasley, so now Dyson is late going to Beasley, and of course, you know what happens. Another 3.
Beasley. Oh, here we go again.
Here we go again, Bob says. 10th shot. High pick and roll. Cade gets a screen from THJ. Picks Dyson. Now, Trae should have come up, but he didn't. We give up another 3 because of Trae on this one.
He had a big game, man. And again, you want the ball in the hand of a creative scorer.
58-55 Pistons. Cunningham again. Good again.
Now, those 3 points were definitely on Trae, for sure. Like I said, when I do a game review, it's on everybody. It's not on one player. It's on the entire team, right? We gave up 143 points in this game. One player didn't give up 143. But Trae did give up some points in this game, but everybody did because we gave up 143. You see how the math is? The problem is, what did you do on offense to contribute to offset that? We lost this game by 5 points. That's the problem. Again, team won't stay with assignments. We got 3 players open on this particular possession. 11th shot of the second quarter. Okongwu, again, won't stay with his man. Duran gets another dunk. Here we go.
Cunningham on the lob. Nobody home on the backside to stop Jalen Duran.
See, what you got to do is know what your weakness of your team is. If we don't know how to switch, you got to stay with your man, Okongwu. We don't switch. Duran was just out there. It's just in limbo. Just in limbo. Just limbo. 12th shot. This is Trae. I'm not sure why he felt he had to hedge a little bit, but he left THJ open for another 3. He hits it, of course.
Beasley throws it to Hardaway. His 3 on the wing is good.
Coaching can nip this in the bud, and we won't do it. Layup.
Good hands by LeVert. Pulled out of the air by Hardaway. Inside Harris and puts it in. Use that big body.
Use that big body, Bob says, right? Tobias got this big body. Just move Okongwu out of the way. 14th shot. There's a lot of shots in this quarter, by the way. 14th. Trade has Cade. Dyson has THJ. Cade drives and Trade is with them, but 4 players, again, are looking at Cade, not staying with their men. THJ is left wide open by Dyson on this one. We don't have no discipline. At the end of this possession, you got 3 players wide open that they could have went to. Let's see it.
On stilts. 68-63. Cunningham finds an open shooter, and Hardaway drills another one.
So let's talk about that. Trey did his job. He was on Cade Cunningham. Trey didn't give up that 3, though, did he? Let's watch it again just for old time's sake here.
On stilts. 68-63. Cunningham finds an open shooter, and Hardaway drills another one.
Watch THJ this time.
On stilts. 68-63. Cunningham finds an open shooter, and Hardaway drills another one.
Stay with your man. You stay with your man, period. You stay with your man. Now they have to do something different. But the NBA knows we never do what we're supposed to do. That's why we give up so many threes. That's why we're at the bottom of the NBA in threes given up. It's not rocket science, y'all. Last shot of the second quarter. Trey knocks the ball away from Cade, but THJ gets it. Cade darts for the basket and lays it up on Okongwu. No shot blocker.
74-68. Poked away by Trey. Back to Cunningham. Side steps and beats the horn to lay it in on a 29-point.
So that's where my co-host Warren Jackson says it's a weakness. It's because as good as Okongwu is, he doesn't have the size to intimidate nobody. Now, Okongwu can block shots, and usually it's in post situations. But in that kind of a situation, we need someone with size and intimidation that will get 5 blocks a game because of it. And we don't have that on our team. Right now, we don't. Let's get to the third quarter. That was halftime, folks. You saw what the score was, I believe. First shot, third quarter.
Well, I don't expect him to have this type of half in the second half. So you're right. You got to get the ball out of hand. Let other people beat you.
And turning and scoring is Asar Thompson.
That's a tough shot.
So Thompson just drove there on the rookie. But did you hear what Dominique was saying at the end of that? Let someone else beat you. But we don't do that as a Hawks team. It don't matter if you score 70 points in a game. We're going to let you do it. Second shot, third quarter. This is the first double team. Here we go. I'm in the third quarter.
Cunningham hits that double team and beyond midcourt. Long 3 for Hardaway.
See, and that's the fear of.
No, Dominique, it shouldn't be a fear because if we knew how to double team and we knew how to rotate, it wouldn't be that big a deal. That was on Trey, though, because he had it, and he just let him shoot it. He backed up. He kind of dared him to shoot like he wasn't THJ. Like he wasn't a former Hawk who did nothing but shoot threes, right? Like he didn't play, like Trae Young never played with him. Anyway, Trey gave up that 3. We gave up 23s in this game, 5 points we lost by. Remember that. Here's another 2 points given up by Trey off the turnover. Where are we at? Fourth shot. Here we go.
Well, usually Duran is right around that basket, Nick, but got into his bag a little bit. A steal by Thompson. And 2 quick buckets.
That was a.
Now remember, Trey gave up 9 points on turnovers. Not 18. 9. Okay. He scored 38 and had 13 assists. Should have had 26. Remember, we left 32 points on the board from missed shots generated from Trae Young. Should have been 12 more passes that should have been assists, I should say. He had 12 potential assists that went for 0 points in this game. 5 of them in the second quarter alone. Actually, I think that's 6. It was 14 points we left in the second quarter, wide open shots. But anyway, fifth shot, double team K. Here's second double team. Third quarter, by the way. Double team on K by Dyson and Mo G. But again, you got to communicate who to pick up when you double team someone. Okongwu has Tobias now. Zach has Thompson. Trey has THJ. Duren gets the ball. Now, what should have happened, Duren had a chance to dribble down the lane. Okongwu would have helped and forced a pass to Tobias. Make him hit that shot as we have somebody trying to rotate to him. Unfortunately, Zach just leaves his man. And Thompson gets an easy dunk. Watch.
Jalen Duren with his fourth rebound tonight. Cunningham has to get rid of it. Lob to Thompson on the reverse.
Again, if you're going to trap him that high.
Now, Dominique has started talking about that. If you're going to trap that high, you got to really trap. See, we let that man keep dribbling. Let me play that one again. What shot is that? 5. Watch Dyson Daniels.
Jalen Duren with his fourth rebound tonight. Cunningham has to get rid of it. Lob to Thompson on the reverse.
Again, if you're going to trap him that high,
you got to stop the ball. You can't let him do what he wants to do, even though you got 2 people on him, because that's not really stopping anything, is it? 6 shot. Again, we don't talk on defense. Okay, Trey, in this case, shouldn't have been the help defender. Okongwu was there. Trey comes out to stop the ball, leaves THJ wide open for a 3 for some reason.
Aside here, 6:40 left in the third. Harris, wide open, Tim Hardaway Jr.
Stay with your man. It's really that simple. I'm showing this to y'all. I've been doing this for a long time now, these game reviews. I say the same stuff in each game. I show you the same stuff over and over again. This is coaching. This is coaching 101 stuff, and we don't have it on our bench because otherwise there'd be adjustments. A team missing shots is not defense. And our team, our bench, our coaching staff acts like missing shots is defense. And it's not. It's just not. Trey should never have left his man. Okongwu was there. Make them go the other direction. Trey, you got to stay on your man. 7 shot. Tobias hits on Niang again.
Tobias Harris goes in on Niang. And the little mid-ranger is good.
Okongwu leaves his man on this shot.
Duren rolls it in.
But Chris, that's what you're supposed to do. No, it's not what you're supposed to do. You don't let them dictate what you do. You make them do what you want them to do. What you want them to do, I should say. Okongwu should stay on Duren. There was no reason for him to go play. There was no reason for him to come out like that. Let me show it to you again. I wish I could do slow motion.
Duren rolls it in.
Dyson was there. There was no reason for Okongwu to help. There was no reason. And the NBA knows that's what we're going to do every single time with Clint and Okongwu. Because we don't have no big man coach. Ninth shot. Niang is not guarding anybody. Beasley doesn't set a screen in this case. Zach tries to double. K's escape passes and cuts to the basket. Dyson left the double team, and nobody attaches back. I blame Dyson on this one.
He's used his dribble. Give and go. Steps through, lays it in.
Oh, man. That's a heck of a move there. Good giving. You're going to give yourself an opportunity.
Detroit won here earlier in the campaign. That ended a 7-game losing streak against the Hawks in this building. Harris banks it in. Now back to Dennis. 6 on the shot clock, and that's knocked away. Dennis got it back. He gives it up top to a wide open Beasley and strips the cords.
Wow.
Nobody stays with their man. No one calls out anything on defense. We don't talk. Man leaves his man for no reason. 4 players shouldn't guard 1 person. Use your peripheral vision. Beasley hits another 3 again.
Stewart, not in line, got it.
Nice shot there. Nice shot. Got in.
Shot should never have happened. Clint just should have stayed with his man, but he can't help himself. He thinks he's doing something. That's not defense, by the way. Thinking that you're doing something isn't defense, y'all. Y'all know that, right? Y'all do realize that, right? 13th shot.
Niang pops out to handle Schroeder. Dennis looking to drive. Got it up and in. What a shot by Dennis.
Well, how many times we seen Dennis Schroeder make shots like that?
Too many times, Nick. Last shot, 3rd quarter.
LeVert on him. Up, in.
Tobias Harris was not going to be denied there.
Mind you, it's an 11-point game now. We lost this game by 5. So here we go. Last quarter. First shot. LeVert's not guarding anybody. Not sure why Clint isn't on Stewart. Because of the mismatch he created by not staying with his man. Cade is wide open now. First shot for 4th quarter.
Isaiah. Cunningham. Got it.
Oh, he wasn't going to stay quiet long. We knew that.
Nobody talks. Trey has Dennis, but nobody has Beasley. Trey sees it too late. Gives up a 3.
What you need to do now is run some screen and rolls, try to find Niang, find his number as Beasley knocks down a corner 3.
No one talks. Beasley simply walks through. Zach doesn't go with him, leaves him open for another 3. Dyson did what he was supposed to do, but then has to try to make up for Zach, which is too late. This is on Zach because he didn't switch, because nobody talks.
Trey's up to 28. Watch out for Beasley and that quick trigger.
Have you noticed that every time I showed Detroit scoring, we had just scored as a Hawks team? But since we don't know how to play no defense, we gave up 148 points in this game. We lost by 5. Pistons gave up 143 points. They won by 5. They held on to win this game. 4th shot. Again, our bigs create mismatches because they won't stay on their men. Half the time, when the pick and roll, they don't need to do it, but they do it anyway. Now, because Clint's at the top of the key, Duren is coming down the lane. He gathered dribbles. Trey has to try to guard 2 players now. Beasley and Dennis are open. Duren passes to Beasley. Niang was a help defender to force the action and rotations. Zach should have stayed with Beasley because, again, why? How many 3s has he hit? Let's watch it.
In the middle, Duren. Beasley hikes it up again. Man, this guy is unreal.
Yeah.
No, he's not unreal. He's just wide open because we can't stop it. Anyway, 5th shot, discipline. Stay with your man. Why are the whole Hawks team under the basket? But this one's on the Yang specifically, though.
Cunningham driving in on Ricochet. A lot of congestion. Good coverage. Whip it to the corner and Hardaway. Good. That's 19 made 3s for the Hawks. Back to a 4-point game. Duren on the roll.
How many 3s the Hawks have hit in this game? It didn't even matter, didn't it? Just saw Duren come down and dunk it, right? Watch this one.
That's not.
Wrong shot.
Cunningham on the wing. Picked up by Daniels. Cade jumps it back to Schroeder. Cunningham looking, shooting, tough shot. Tipped up and in by Jalen Duren.
That was a great block out by Clint, right? Oh, wait, he didn't block out. 8th shot.
The race for 6th. Schroeder. Pull up.
No, Dennis Schroeder, clutch shot there.
9th shot.
Cunningham feeds inside to Thompson. Nowhere to go. Puts up a tough shot and hits it.
10th shot.
Cunningham working against Ricochet. Turns, hits.
This is the last shot that Detroit hit.
With 8.5. Schroeder. Oh, hits an impossible shot. Oh, falling out of bounds.
Now, listen to me. Was there a particular reason in the fourth quarter with less than a minute left that Niang was still in the game on defense? It's coaching, y'all. But anyway, we lost this game by 5 points. Here's how it broke down. The team, 8 points. Because I remember I gave a certain amount of points to the team on certain things, right? Zach gave up 20 points in this game. Trey gave up 21 points in this game. O'Connor gave up 20 points in this game. Dyson gave up 17 points in this game. Levert gave up 7. Niang gave up 16 points off the bench. Clint gave up 8 for the time he was in. And Mann gave up 8 points as well. Now, let me ask you something. This is the last question. Actually, no, this is a mid question. We gave up 148 points in this game. All right. Is the 21 points given up by Trey more than the 65 points that he produced in the game? 38 points, 13 assists. Because math is math. 65 points generated. 15 of them in the fourth quarter, along with 5 assists. And remember, we left 32 points on the floor from 12 passes created from Trey throughout this game. I showed you some of them. Wide open shots. In the second quarter alone, we left 14 points on the board, I believe it was. Let me scroll back up, make sure I'm correct on that, because I like to be right about stuff. 14 points in the second quarter. If anything, we lost the game in the second quarter of this game. Because if we hit half of those shots, if we hit 7 of those 14 points, we win this game. We lost by 5. Get 7 of those points, we win by 2. But no, we're going to blame it on Trey. This is strange to me. Strange. Mann gave up 8 points in the 13 minutes. He scored 2 points in this game. Clint gave up 8 points. He did score 8, though, so at least he evened himself out. But again, Detroit gave up 143 points in this game as well. They gave up 21 threes. 3 Hawks scored 24 or more. It wasn't like they dominated us. We just couldn't get enough stops because we couldn't double team somebody more than twice in the game, and we couldn't stay with our man. We couldn't stop fast breaks. We gave up 24 fast break points, 64 points in the paint, 50% from 3. 50% from 3. You lose a game. Now, do you remember that first Detroit game? I mentioned this earlier. It was in November. We lost that game by 1 point. Trey had 35 points and 13 assists in that game. 3 turnovers. Did we lose the game because of Trae Young in that game too? How many 38-13 games can one person have and still be blamed for a loss when there's 12 other players on the team? He had 61 points generated in that game, by the way. In that game, let's see. Oh, by the way, he had 6 threes in that game, I believe. JJ had 20 points, 9 boards. Dyson had 18 and 7 steals. Nance was 5 of 5, 13 points. We lost that game by 1. Hawks only gave up 6 fast break points in that game. That's great. We should have won that game. Pistons had 20 turnovers in that game. We should have won. How is Trey getting blamed for that game? I still don't understand. Zach in that game was 2 of 7, 0 for 3 in that game for 7 points. Clint was 3 of 10 in that game, 1 of 4 from the free throw line. No one blames Clint because he had 12 rebounds in that game. He had 7 points, 7 offensive rebounds. He had 7 points. He had 7 offensive rebounds. He had 7 points. Make that make sense to me. The Spurs game in December, we lost that game 133 to 126. We lost that game by 7. Again, Trey was blamed. I reviewed that particular game. I'm going to post this in the comment section real quick. If you want to watch it, Hawks versus Spurs review. Y'all go check that out right there. Go watch that. Okay. Trey had 23 points and 16 assists in that game. 55 points generated in that game. Larry Nance had 21 points. Hunter had 27. JJ had 22. But Wemby, who averages 24 points a game, had 42. Was Trae Young guarding Wemby or was someone else? Who is guarding Vassell? Who is guarding Soham? Why did it even get to overtime? Let me show you why it went to overtime real quick. Okay, let me play you the last two shots that the Spurs hit to get the game into overtime. Watch this now. I want you to pay attention.
Paul. Keldon Johnson stepping in. Kicks it out. Vassell, quick fire. Tied at 150.
I said Vassell earlier, it's Vassell. But I'm gonna play this again. I want you to watch Hunter, and I want you to watch where his man started from and where his man ended at. I want you to look at the score, and then I want you to watch Vassell hit this three. Watch all of what I just said.
Paul. Keldon Johnson stepping in. Kicks it out. Vassell, quick fire. Tied at 150.
That wasn't Trey's man who hit that three. That was Hunter's man. We had a 3-point lead. But here's the worst part of this. The Hawks got the lead again. Chris Paul is coming up the court, and our best defender is on Chris Paul. Wemby sits a back pick on Hunter, and instead of Hunter just, okay, fine, but I'm going to get back on Chris Paul because that's the Hall of Famer. I'm the best defender. I'm going to make sure that he don't do whatever he wants to do. He goes on Wemby. So now Chris Paul has Nance. And Nance decides that the Hall of Famer can't shoot for some reason.
Sucks in our jerseys, and there's Jalen Johnson all by himself.
Paul tied it! And a foul!
By the way, let's go into overtime. Let's see who hits the first shot in overtime.
Paul, 5 seconds on the shot clock, guarded by Dyson Daniels. Kicks it out. Wembanyama stepping through and hit a three at the shot clock buzzer. Wow.
So how is any of that Trey's fault? Because it should never have went into overtime, and Wemby was still scoring all through overtime, and nobody was guarding him apparently. Get out of here, y'all. It don't make no sense to continue to try to blame one individual and not everybody else. To not assign any kind of fault to anybody but one person, even though you might not say it out loud. Again, a lie of omission is still a lie. You don't want to say anybody else's names. Why not? Everybody has to be a part of it. That's why I do these game reviews. Everybody has to be a part of it, not just who you want, everybody. You have a game where you give up 148 points in the game, everybody's giving up points in that game. But if you see all of my reviews, you'll see, hey, guess what? Trey ain't giving up the most points in these games. He never has. People say, oh, well, he's the most attacked person. No, not really. That's what someone responded when I posted Dyson Daniels leads the NBA in shots defended. 50. The 50th player is Trae Young. Trae Young has a better defensive rating than Dyson Daniels, by the way. I'll get into that a little bit later if I have time. It's 5:15. Do I got time to do this? We're going to give it a go. So let's go into my second half of this episode, okay? Because one of the things I keep talking about is how can people in general just be so angry that they hate someone so much that even when things are going good, you're still mad. Now, before this particular show, the Hawks hadn't played Clippers yet. They got blown out by that team. But before then, they had a 4-game winning streak going. They had won 4 out of 5. They had 24 Eastern Conference victories. They had 15 wins against teams 500 or higher. That's good. We're in 7th place, 2 games up at least. We got 2 games up on the division. These are all positives as opposed to where we were a year ago, where we were going to lose 46 games and not having a shot to do a whole heck of a lot, right? The response I got was, well, the schedule is favorable, and we didn't really move that much, and, it ain't really going to mean that much at the end of the day and all this. I'm like, are you really a Hawks fan? Like, you don't want the team to be successful? You don't want the team to even do well? Because even when they do well, you're still mad. How can you have that much anger and angst in you all the time, right? What if the Hawks win the championship this year? What are people going to do? I want to know. I've asked that question. No one has answered it still. Because they don't know how to answer. They can't say what they want. Oh, well, I'm going to still say that, instead of us winning in 7, we should have won in 6. Right? So let me give you an example. For those who have jobs, most of you have employment, right? And let's say you're not the owner or manager or president or supervisor, and you got a meeting that was called, right? And everyone is told that the company is in trouble, right? You're at this meeting, company's in trouble. Now, let's just say you're the best employee of the company, all right? I'm going to assume whatever you do, you're good at it, right? You're a leader in sales or you're a leader in customer service. You take the most calls. You're a designer. You do the best designs. You produce the best fidget wickets. I don't know, right? Than anybody. But as the meeting unfolds, it's clear that they're saying that you're the problem, though. And they call you out by name, by the way. You know you're the best in the business at what you do. The company has told you this several times over a period of time, but now all of a sudden, all the bad stuff that's starting to happen is your fault and your fault alone. Now, tell me how you feel at that moment. How do you feel? How would you feel? And be honest. You know you're doing great, but then all of a sudden you're being told that you're not doing great. And in fact, everything that's going bad is actually your fault. Now, because you're the best employee, you actually know who's messing up. Because you're always helping people. You're always helping people out of jams. You're helping people do this and do that or whatever. So you have a realization of actually who's kind of messing up. So you're kind of confused on why they're blaming you and calling you out by name, right? How do you feel? You know the person who is using a phone dialer to take their calls instead of actually making the calls themselves. You know the person who's actually falsifying sales information to make their numbers look better. You know the person who's making errors in the system because you're the one who personally fixes them sometimes behind their back. They don't know it. You know the people causing issues, yet you and you alone, nobody else is named in this company meeting with everybody there. They're on stage and they called you out. How would you feel if that scenario happened to you? How would you personally feel? Would you still want to be at that company? Knowing that you're the best. You have the numbers to prove it. You got the documentation. You have the awards. You've been at the award ceremonies year after year. Certificates, plaques, statues, whatever, money given to you, bonuses, right? But now all of a sudden the company's about to go under and it's your fault? You sure you wouldn't feel some kind of way just a little bit? Think about that. Would you still want to be there at that point? And would it be different if you're the only employee and you make mistakes? Let me put you like this. It would be different if you were the only employee and you made the mistakes. But again, we all make mistakes, right? But do your mistakes outweigh all the good that you've done? Like, really? Okay? Unless you've stolen, like I said, you've stolen money, you've sold secrets to this other company, like, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, right? You've given up the formula for everlasting gobstoppers, right? Did you do that? Yeah. Okay, now that's bad, right? But if there's other people making similar mistakes or worse mistakes, why are you the one putting all the blame on? Why is everything laid out on you and you alone? Wouldn't you feel some kind of way? I think most people would. But that's what Trae Young has been dealing with for 7 seasons now. That he and he alone somehow, even though he is putting up historical point guard numbers, and everything counts because it's an accomplishment. You want to know why? Because we keep score. There is no NBA if you ain't keeping score, right? There is no Hall of Fame if you're not keeping up with what everybody is doing. Why have a Hall of Fame if it don't matter? If it don't count? When does it count and when doesn't it count? You see what I'm saying? Did it count for Dominique and not Trae? But anyway, I'll get into that a little bit. All right. Despite Trae Young doing more than any Atlanta Hawk in history and doing more than certain players in NBA history, Trae Young is the only one blamed for anything negative that happens with the team. And then also still blamed for stuff even when the team does well. And that's a problem. It's a perception problem, but it's just a basketball problem. That doesn't make sense. When you go out, I'll be playing basketball later. I don't know if I'm gonna finish this whole show tonight. I do promise I'll finish this up another time if I don't get to finish. But I'm gonna go play basketball later tonight for the first time in a couple of weeks. It'll be crazy for me to say I got the guy who hits the game winner 3 straight times. But I'm gonna be like, man, you're garbage. You're on my team, but you're garbage, man. I don't like you. He's the reason we won all the games. But I'm gonna be like, nah, you trash. You ain't really all that good. You just terrible. You can't say in one breath it's not totally on Trae and then don't use any other names to say, okay, well, if it's not totally on Trae, well, who's it on then? Let's even this blame out somewhat. Because see, if people would do that, I wouldn't say nothing. Because that's how you're supposed to be. You win together, you lose together. If you lose together, let's see why we lost and let's see if we can get it fixed. If we win together, hey, let's do it again. Yes, we won. See, we don't even have that in the city of Atlanta. We won 4 games in a row, and it would, for some people, is as if like it's the end of the world. You wouldn't know we had won 4 in a row. You wouldn't have known it. With some people out there, because they hate so much, they loathe Trae Young so much. They dismiss what he's doing. They didn't dismiss Steve Nash when he's popping us, Jason Kidd, Chris Paul, CP3. But Trae Young doing it to other teams, nah, they don't mean nothing. 38-15, 38-6, nah, they don't mean nothing. Trae has a better 7-year stretch of a beginning of a start of a career than multiple Hall of Fame point guards. Nah, don't mean nothing. There ain't no point guards giving you 25 and 10, 28 and 10. Nobody else is doing that. It doesn't mean nothing, right? Doesn't make sense. We have players who are missing wide open shots from passes generated from Trae Young night after night after night. He's being blamed for other people missing their shots. They're wide open. Layups, dunks, wide open shots. Wide open. I showed you some of them. Just a few, handful. So let's talk history here now, okay? Because at a certain point, facts supersede everything else, okay? Because again, people would have an argument to be mad if Trae Young was giving us 10 points and 3 assists a game, 38 minutes a night, and getting paid $250 million. You would have a real argument. I'd be in there with you. But that's not what he's doing. He's never done that. He started his career as a 19-8 player in the NBA as a point guard, right off the rip. Should have been Rookie of the Year if it had not been for Luka. You know how that was going to go. Trae Young, before the Clipper game, okay, because this is all have to be updated. But before the Clipper game, I'll throw that out there. Trae Young had 4,536 assists. Okay. He is the Atlanta Hawks all-time leader in assists. He has passed Kyrie Irving in assists all time. But I guess Kyrie Irving is a bum, right? Ray Allen, Spud Webb, Tim Duncan, Giannis, Dennis Schroeder, Dennis Schroeder, played with the Hawks. Grant Hill, Charles Barkley, T-Mac. He has passed all of those guys now. By the end of this season, he could pass Jay Crossover, Jamal Crawford, Jeff Teague, Atlanta Hawks Jeff Teague, Jason Williams, Joe Dumars, Wilt Chamberlain, Paul Pierce, Vince Carter, DeRozan, has an outside shot to pass Draymond, Kevin Durant, and Mark Price in total assists in NBA history this season, year 7. Next year, he plays enough games, he's going to pass Doc Rivers. Because remember, Doc didn't just play in Atlanta, he kept on playing. He got a couple more assists, right? But he'll pass Doc next year. ISO Joe, Nate McMillan, Walt Frazier, Kenny Anderson, the Joker. If the Joker was to retire at the end of this season, he would pass Joker in total assists in NBA history. Think about that. Well, of course, Joker probably won't retire, so he'll stay ahead of Trae for a minute. But remember, Joker's been around longer than Trae Young. Crazy, right? But Trae is a bum, though. He'll pass Karl Malone, Jason Terry, Allen Iverson, Michael Jordan, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Larry Bird, and Dwayne Wade. All those guys are bums? Those guys don't mean nothing to the NBA. Trae Young's going to pass them. Going back to the Hawks, Trae is 6th all-time in Hawks scoring. He will eventually pass Nick if he plays 7 more years or so, 8 more years, give or take. He's first in assists, obviously. Okay. Total assists, whole 9 yards, right? He's first in three-pointers made. He's 4th in free throws made. He'll end up in first in that. Did you know Dominique Wilkins is actually the team leader in turnovers with 2,286 of them? Trae is 2nd, though. Trae might catch him. But Dominique leads the Hawks in turnovers. Didn't know that. I actually didn't know that. I looked that one up. Let's talk playoffs for a minute, y'all. All right? What time is it? 5:28. Let's see if we can do this. For the playoffs, for a single playoff series, Trae Young is the Hawks' all-time leader, 461 points in the 2021 playoffs. Some of you remember it. I don't know. Some people don't think we made the playoffs in 2020-21 season. I guess. I don't know. Maybe they did. Maybe they closed their eyes throughout that whole playoff streak. I don't know. All time, Trae is 16th for the fact he's only been in 3 playoff series so far. So in Hawks history, he's 16th. 27 games he's played in the playoffs so far. Not a lot. But in those games, he's 26 a game, 9 assists. That is better than Chris Paul, 20-8. Jason Kidd, 12-8. Steve Nash, 17-8. John Stockton, 13-10. Imagine if Trae Young gets a couple more times in the playoffs. Just a note, Magic Johnson averaged 19 and 12 in the playoffs, but remember who he had playing around him? Exactly. Yeah. Dominique also averaged 26 a game in the playoffs for the Hawks. Now, Trae Young is one of 2 players in NBA history to lead the league in total points and total assists, right? Trae Young was the first rookie since Michael Jordan to put up 45 points and 15 assists in a game. 2019, he passed Michael Jordan for second most 30-point, 10-assist games by a rookie in history over Curry and Michael Jordan. 2021, 5th player in NBA history to record at least 15 career 40-point games, 22 years of age or younger. Just interesting stuff here. In the playoffs, 2021, joined Michael Jordan as only 2 players in history to score 30 points in 3 straight road playoff games against the Knicks. First player to record at least 25 points and 18 assists since Tim Hardaway in the playoffs. Youngest player to have 20 points and 15 assists in a playoff game. Longest streak of 11 games in playoff history with 20 points and 7 assists or more. Joined Doc Rivers as the only Hawks to record a double-double with points and assists in a game 7. Game sevens are pretty, spectacular, right? Kind of important. One and out. One game and you're out, right? Youngest player to record 40 points and 10 assists in a conference finals game. First Hawk to score 20 points and 10 assists in 3 straight playoff games. First player in NBA history to record 45 points and 10 assists in a conference finals game. Trey is currently 8th in NBA history in 20-point, 10-assist games. He is 3 away from John Stockton. Within the next year or two, he's going to pass the Pistons' Isaiah Thomas, Chris Paul, James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Magic Johnson, and LeBron whenever he decides to retire in 20-point, 10-assist games. He's currently 3rd all-time NBA history, 30 and 10 games. 4th if you count Oscar Robertson. Some people, for some reason or not, I don't know. But James Harden and LeBron are the ones ahead of him, and they've played how many years in the NBA? Trey has played 7, guys. 7! He's 3rd all time. All time. Trey has 41 15-assist games since 2018. That's 10 more than anybody else in the NBA. No other point guard is doing this. But Trey is the problem. Trey is the only one. He is the cause of everything bad with the Atlanta Hawks. But he's doing this. But then you got people with Chris. Trey is like 210 and 250. Let's update it. 257 in his Hawks career. So he can't be good. Carmelo Anthony was 196 and 216 with the Knicks. They made the playoffs 3 times. Never passed the second round. 4 straight 45 or more losing seasons. They had 150-win season, and then it went. And that's Carmelo Anthony, one of the most dominant scorers of our generation. So which is it? Carmelo Anthony a bum too? He didn't win with that team. Dame Lillard has gotten to 1 conference finals with the Portland Trailblazers. He was there for 12 seasons, mostly getting knocked out in the first round. He's sorry too. Dame Lillard, Dame time. Wish I had to watch him. Dame time. He's sorry too. And he always had, well, I'm not going to say always, but for the most part, he's always had better talent around him than Trey has ever had in the same length of time. By far. Their record shows it. Coaching too overall, right? James Harden has played 166 playoff games. He doesn't have a ring. He's sorry. He's a bum. Russell Westbrook, 122 games. No ring. He's a bum. Both of those guys are MVPs. Chris Paul, 149 playoff games. No ring. He's a bum. He's terrible. Because you got to say the same thing for one and all, right? Don't you? Jimmy Butler, 119 playoff games. 2 finals appearances, though, but still no ring. And all of them have had more talent around them. All of them have, right? Reggie Miller got to a finals, right? His team's won some games in the playoffs, right? Reggie Miller a bum too. He's sorry. People blame him for not winning a championship. How's that his fault? One of the clutch shooters of all time. But it's his fault and his fault alone that the Indiana Pacers do not have a championship. Chuck Pearson, Detlef Schrempf, the Davis brothers, Smits, Mark Jackson. Y'all remember Derek McKee? My goodness, they were loaded. Patrick Ewing, he's sorry too. All those battles. Patrick got the 2 finals in the East. Karl Malone, he's trash. Retired with 36,000 points. John Stockton, NBA assists and steals leader. He's a bum though. He didn't win no ring. He didn't. It's a fact. Is Mookie trash? Mookie Blaylock? Bibby? Jeff Teague? Speedy Claxton, who we're still paying under the table? Tony Delk? Kirk Heinrich? Dennis Schroeder? They were all Hawks point guards. They didn't bring a ring to Atlanta. No championship. All of them were multiple-time All-Stars. MVPs? League leaders and stuff? I mean, Again, where's your threshold in calling someone trash and sorry and the fault of everything bad with the Atlanta Hawks, but you can't levy that with other players who's done less? It doesn't make any sense, not logical sense, right? Dominique Wilkins, 26 points, 7 boards, 1 steal, career as a Hawk. He did not bring the team a ring. He has a statue in front of the State Farm Arena, though. 26,000 points combined as a player. There's a Neek night. The 60-win team got to the Eastern Conference Finals, got swept. Is getting swept better than being 2 wins away from the finals? Anybody? Raise your hand. Would you rather be 2 games away from getting to the NBA Finals or getting swept? Now, again, some of you don't compete. Some of you don't do any kind of competition at all, don't know what it means to play on a team, nothing like that. Maybe that's where some of this is coming from. Maybe some people don't have a competitive bone in their body. It doesn't matter one way or the other. That's why they don't watch games. But I'm like, but if you've got season tickets, how are you going to games and not really rooting for your team? You don't want you see your team doing better than a year ago. And, right? So with what time it is now, there's a second half that I'm going to do. Well, no, I'm actually, let's see, let me look at this. No. So I'm going to finish this another time because I do have a little bit more. What I was about to do is start going through the Atlanta Hawks roster since 2018. I was going to go through each year. And we're going to go through it and find out where did we go wrong. We're going to go player for player. We're going to go player for player. We're going to go player for player, season for season. Go in real in-depth detail here because we need to. At this point, we got to. The Atlanta Hawks organization, what have we been doing all these years compared to the other teams around us? Okay, so if you like what you've heard so far, make sure you subscribe to the IMTM Worldwide Radio YouTube channel that's been scrolling here the entire time that I've been on so far. Okay, I'm going to end it here. Make sure, of course, that you come back for Thursday night on Sports Visions 92.1 FM on the TuneIn app. Like I said, we air every Thursday night. Make sure you listen on the TuneIn app. Make sure you subscribe to the IMTM Worldwide Radio YouTube channel. You can also follow on Facebook and Instagram if you wish. Make sure you also follow us on Twitter. IMTM Radio and Jordan23 ATL, my co-host Jordan Jackson. You can follow us there. Of course, our sponsors, SouthernClassicTransportation.com. If you got to get somewhere important in a timely manner, but safely, also in style, a little comfort, make sure you hit up Southern Classic Transportation. Ask for Dennis at 404-291-0150. Also, our other sponsor, IMTMworldwideimages.com. If you need photos, you need business photos, headshots, you need promotional photos, things of that nature, anything you need photography-wise, make sure you hit them up. Let them know Around the ATL sent you as well. That being said, again, if you're an Atlanta Hawks fan, you watch this particular episode, don't forget we talk about all Atlanta sports as well on this program Around the ATL. We talk Georgia sports, so we talk college and high school as well. Semi-pro teams in the state, we talk about those as well. With it being baseball season, we'll soon be talking a lot of baseball, so stay tuned for that. But this particular show was about the Atlanta Hawks, and I'm going to finish this up another time. It's going to be called The Legacy of the Atlanta Hawks, so just stay tuned for that. I also have some more game reviews coming up because, again, I'm going to start catching up from the All-Star break. It's just been really hectic, but I'm going to be catching up on those, so look out for those. If you enjoy those, let me know. I'll keep doing those. Like I said, I've just been tied up. So, yeah, the Atlanta Hawks are better this year than last year. That's a fact. The record tells you that. There's no way to get around that now, okay? This is a team that could easily be the 6th in the East. They could be higher. Again, Don't know what Indiana and Pistons are going to do. They might not make it. They might free fall all the way out, right? But the question to everybody is, if you hate the Atlanta Hawks, why follow the team? Because if you can never say anything positive about a team that you're supposedly going for, why follow them? There are other options out there. So what is the reason that you hate the team so much that even when things are going well and things are fun, exciting, cool, just all those positive words, why are some of y'all, I hate this. Man, I hate this. Your body language, I hate this. Stuff that you say online, I hate this. And you're really talking about one player. The one player that keeps you in most games, wins a lot of games for you, just outright. It's the focal point of the team, like all the other stars in the NBA. But only here, it got to be negative. It is born within you. It's in your pores. It's in your blood. It doesn't make any sense. Especially when he's done so much in the NBA as a young player so far, who's about to go into his prime. Without the roster makeup of other teams around him. Look at what the Knicks have done since 2020. That's a prime example. The Knicks have completely changed their team. Completely. There's nobody from that 2020 team on the roster. I don't believe, right? And look what their record is now. Look at what they've been doing. Look at the Cavs. The Magic, even for that matter, they haven't had the best second half of the season ever, but the Magic has surpassed us too, right? The Bucks stay above us. Pacers above us. But the Hawks, we're supposed to just be, don't care, don't matter. We'll just be down here forever. And it's all this one player's fault. He's doing all the bad. He's not even giving up all the points each game, guys. Because he's not on the best scorer of the other team. And why would you, and again, that was another point of contention. Again, some of you might not have ever played basketball before, but why in the world would you put your worst defender on the best scorer of the other team and think you have a chance to win the game? That's not competitive basketball in any generation. Michael Jordan wasn't playing Shaq. There was no time that Michael Jordan was playing Shaquille O'Neal. It never happened. And that's Michael Jordan, one of the best defenders of all time. Because that's not the matchup. So to continue to kind of put that out there as if Trae Young is being targeted and he's being put on the Joker and Joel Embiid and Jason Tatum, it's not true. I can show you the game footage. I showed you the playoff game footage of Boston a couple years ago. I showed you that footage. It's not happening like that. So you can't just keep saying stuff out loud and hoping it sticks when there's proof otherwise. You see what I'm saying? And that's why I started doing the game reviews. That's why I did the last 8 games of the 2023 season specifically. Because I said, well, if Trae is so bad, what about the games he's not playing in? We should be defensive stalwarts then. We should be giving up 60 points a game. That just wasn't true. I showed that to y'all. I showed y'all all 28 games that Trae Young didn't play. And I showed y'all the end scores of all those games and what the other teams did in the scoring column. And we weren't stopping nobody. What Keith Sweat say? Nobody, right? I showed y'all those scores. And I showed you the last 8 games. The last win that we had was against Detroit in Atlanta. And we couldn't stop Malachi Flynn from scoring 50 points in the game. And still to this day, no one ever has told me how come we gave up 50 points to Malachi Flynn. Trae wasn't on the floor, so you can't blame him. Who was on the floor? You don't want to blame them, though. Doesn't make sense. I showed y'all how we got beat by the Denver Nuggets. We gave up 23 three-pointers in that game, almost 60% from the floor. I showed you the Dallas game. Luka just hit 6 threes for no reason. They hit 18 threes in that game. I showed y'all the Miami game. We gave up 18 threes in that game. 3 straight games, we gave up 18 or more three-pointers in the game, and Trae Young wasn't to be found. Why? Because he wasn't playing yet. And still no one says anything about how it happened. And we lost all those games. We still had a chance to not be in the place that we were in. We still had a chance to be home court at least for the play-in game. I showed y'all the first game Trae came back. Charlotte. We lost that game by 1 point after leading 92-77 in the fourth quarter when Trae got pulled because of his minutes restriction. I showed y'all the Minnesota game. We lost by 3 points. Rudy Gobert had 25 points in that game, 10 of 10 shooting. Trae Young don't guard Rudy Gobert. Stop being silly. Why are you blaming Trae Young for that game? Right? I showed y'all all of this. You can go back and look for yourself. But then the worst of it all was the play-in game against the Chicago Bulls. We watched Hunter score 8 points, 2 rebounds in that game, and give up a slew of points. And no one said nothing about Hunter. We watched Clint give up a slew of points. We watched DJ give up a slew of points. No one said a word. No one said a word. Kobe White literally had 42 points, and it didn't matter to nobody. That's just interesting. But Vucevic had 24 points himself. DeRozan had 22 points himself. Trae Young don't guard those 3 players, guys. So how are you blaming Trae Young for that too? Doesn't make sense. And that's why I showed the video, because once you watch the game film and see how each of those shots, Trae Young didn't give up the most points in that game. He was nowhere near the one who gave up the most points in that particular game. I showed y'all that. And it gets really messed up when you watch that game. It should make you mad. But for some people, they don't. They just ignore it like it didn't happen. But that's why I started doing the game reviews for the 2024 season. Just to show y'all, here it is again. That being said, I'm going to go play basketball now. I might try to do the second half of this episode. Although I kind of started it, I'm going to finish it later. So again, thank you for staying with me, those who got to watch a little bit of this live. I know the Hawks game is about to start, so that's another reason I'm about to go play basketball. Because when that game is over, maybe you'll be ready to watch the second half. And again, make sure you watch the first half, which is the game review, Hawks versus Pistons. And again, share this with at least one Hawks fan. The IMTM Worldwide Radio YouTube page is right there scrolling on the bottom there. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to get out of here, and I'll talk to y'all another time. This was Around the ATL Sidenotes, Atlanta Hawks game review, Pistons versus Hawks, and a little bit about Atlanta Hawks legacy. I'll get into that a little bit more in the second half, so don't go nowhere too far away. If I can find the intro, I'm trying to find the intro. Here we go. So y'all take care. Peace.
Dribble, pass, throw, catch, hit, slide, grab, respect, around.